How's it going, you guys? Welcome back to another video. And in this video, we're going to talk about UFC 308. So to kick off the main card, Shara Magomedov versus Armen Petrosyan. And I don't want you guys confusing Armen Petrosyan for Armen Tsarukyan. They're both from Armenia, if I'm not mistaken. Just have the same first name. But this was a really good middleweight fight. I feel like the first round was close, but I had Armen edging it out. He showed he showed really good skills on his feet. He's from Dagestan, so I was expecting him to grapple more and wrestle, but I'm noticing a new, I wouldn't say era, but I'm noticing that nowadays a lot of Dagestani, they have a better arsenal, they have a better toolkit of skills, because nowadays a lot of UFC fighters that come from Dagestan are fighting. They have good boxing skills, good kickboxing. But let me not go off on a tangent. This was the fight that kicked off the main card. Magomedov explosive performance against Petrosyan, it captivated the audience, and it also captivated me. His unorthodox striking and aggressive combinations quickly overwhelmed Petrosyan. I felt like Petrosyan struggled to find openings. He just seemed to have one punch combinations, sometimes two punch combinations. Magomedov looked like clearly the more confident fighter between the two. This was a 3-round fight. It didn't go the distance. Magomedov's power shots and versatile game plan ultimately secured him a decisive victory. Established him as a really good fighter in the middleweight. He knocked out Petrosyan with if I'm not mistaken, a double back fist. So he went for a punch, slipped it. He went for a punch and it looked like he missed. He went for a back fist. That back fist missed, and he went for a double back fist, and that's what knocked out Petrosyan. And instead of finishing off Petrosyan, Magomedov just walked off, and the ref knew, everyone knew that the fight was off. And even if it would have continued, I still feel like it was just a dominant performance from Magomedov. So kudos to him. At the end of the fight, he called out Israel Adesanya, and that would be an interesting fight to see for sure. That kicks off the first fight, and the second fight was Magomedov Ankalaev versus Alexander Rakic. I thought that this fight would have been closer than how it turned out. Thought Rakic would have delivered more to Magomedov, forced him to use his wrestling. Magomed Ankalaev is a wrestler. He's from Dagestan, and Dagestanis are notorious for being really good wrestlers, sambo wrestling specifically. But this was just a pure striking fight from beginning to end. The light heavyweight matchup was critical for potential title contention. Ankalaev and Rakic showcased very powerful striking and grappling exchanges, but Ankalaev's tactical patience and counters helped him gain the upper hand. By controlling key moments in each round, he emerged victorious, setting him up as likely contender in the division. A lot of people are saying that Ankalaev and Alex Pereira, that's a fight to happen next for the title. I could see it happening, but as a lot of you guys know, Magomedov is from Dagestan, and Dagestanis are devout Muslims. So the fight would have to be later into the year, next year, because Ramadan starts in March. And I remember Pereira mentioning that he wants to fight early next year. So with that type of time conflict, I'm interested to see when Alex Pereira and Ankalaev ever fight. That should be interesting. Look out for that fight. And then the next fight, Leron Murphy versus Dan Ige. If you guys don't remember, Dan Ige was a fighter that stepped in last minute to fight Diego Lopez. Dan Ige was able to step in. He had a really good performance, and yeah, he got this fight. Leron Murphy is a British fighter, English more specifically, that's undefeated. You don't come across that very often in MMA, undefeated fighters. But Murphy and Ige engaged in a closely contested battle. This battle showcased their well-rounded abilities. Murphy's striking edge and ability to control distance were key, but Dan Ige was able to pressure, apply high pressure, and he actually landed a lot of powerful shots. Both fighters had strong moments, but Murphy's precise footwork and head movement allowed him to secure a narrow decision. Some people said that Dan Ige pulled it through, but if you ask me, it was just a close fight. It could have gone either way, but this helps Leron Murphy. He's now, I'm not sure what his record is, but he's still undefeated in the UFC, and half of his fights have been in the UFC, so watch out for him. And that was in, I believe, the featherweight division or lightweight division, one or the other, but very good fight. And then we move into the co-main event. The co-main event starred Robert Whittaker versus Khamzat Chimaev. There's a lot of build-up to this fight. Robert Whittaker proclaimed himself as the boogeyman of the division. His last fight against, I believe, Islam Maskarov or another Dagestani fighter. It ended really shortly. The bookies were against him. They didn't favor him winning that fight, but he still pulled it through. Khamzat Chimaev, it's strange with what's going on with him. He's had to pull out a lot of fights because of complications when he was cutting weight, and also apparently he's not allowed to fight in the United States. I'm not sure if that's true or not, but there's just a lot of complications with Khamzat Chimaev. This middleweight clash was a thrilling matchup between Whittaker's experience and Chimaev's unyielding aggression. Chimaev managed to control the fight with superior grappling off the bat, putting Whittaker on the defense early. Despite Whittaker's attempted counter shots, Chimaev's relentless pace and effective clinch game earned him the decision win, pushing him closer to a title shot, which I believe he deserves. And that people are saying Sean Strickland is the one that deserves a rematch against Dricus, but if you ask me, I would be happy with either Khamzat Chimaev or Sean Strickland getting the title fight. Needless to say, the middleweight division has a lot of exciting matchups in the future, and yeah, let's just see how it unfolds. And let's get into the main event, the main fight: Ilia Topuria versus Max Holloway. Topuria defended his featherweight title against the experienced Max Holloway in a highly anticipated matchup. Topuria's power and technical prowess were evident, making for a striking heavy bout. Holloway, known for his resilience and cardio, put up a really strong fight, but Topuria's precision, striking, and solid defense led to a knockout victory, solidifying his status as a dominant featherweight champion. A lot of people have this idea that Max Holloway's chin was unbreakable, that he's too resilient to get knocked out, and this fight proved a lot to me, because Ilia Topuria has knocked out back-to-back, I wouldn't say champions, but back-to-back dominant fighters in the division. Dominant. So it's interesting to see what direction the featherweight division has in store. I think that Ilia Topuria could fight. They're saying that he potentially can have a rematch against Volk, which would be an interesting fight to see. Let's say he were to beat Volk, who else would he have to fight in the featherweight division besides Diego Lopez? A fight against Diego Lopez would be probably the best fight in my opinion, because a lot of people are saying Diego Lopez among all the featherweight fighters has the best chance against Ilia Topuria. Other than that, there's also people saying that Ilia Topuria can move up to lightweight to fight Islam and potentially be a double champ. But let's just see how that unfolds. But yeah, you guys, that just wraps up this video. I don't want to go on for too long, just wrapping up UFC 308, a very exciting card. It lived up to his expectations, and I want to see more cards just like that. Thank you guys and have a good day. Bye bye.